Courtney Hadwin once set the world ablaze with nothing more than a mic, a pair of Doc Martens, and a voice that didn't seem humanly possible. Her 2018 audition on America's Got Talent didn't just go viral. It detonated like a cultural bomb. The painfully shy 13-year-old from England transformed into a rock and roll force the second the music hit, channeling the ghosts of Janis Joplin and Joe Cocker with terrifying precision. Within seconds, the judges were on their feet, the audience was screaming, and Howie Mandel slammed the golden buzzer, showering her in confetti and sending her straight to the live shows. It should have been the beginning of a global takeover, the coronation of a new queen of soulful grit. But instead, just as quickly as she appeared, Courtney vanished. Social media went quiet. Interviews stopped. Fans were left with a haunting question: where did she go? Had the pressure crushed her? Was it a decision or something darker? Whispers of conflict, anxiety, and manipulation began circulating. And just when people had begun to accept that maybe she wasn't coming back, 2025 happened. A stunning return, a chilling confession, and a transformation that has the entire industry watching closely. What really happened to Courtney Hadwin? The truth is more twisted and more inspiring than anyone expected. When Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage in 2018, she could barely speak. Her body language screamed discomfort. Her voice trembled as she introduced herself, and judges seemed unsure what to expect from the painfully nervous teenager. But then came the music. With the first note of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, the entire atmosphere of the room shifted. Like flipping a switch, Courtney's demeanor changed into something raw, electric, and borderline possessed. Her performance wasn't just good, it was unforgettable. Simon Cowell looked stunned. Howie Mandel called her a rock reincarnation and awarded her the Golden Buzzer, launching her into the AGT semifinals and into international stardom almost overnight. The performance racked up millions of views within days, and Courtney became a trending topic worldwide. Viewers were astonished by the contrast between her offstage shyness and her onstage fire. Articles were written, TV appearances booked, a fan base was born, and the industry began salivating over the new breakout talent. But what the cameras didn't catch was that Courtney herself felt overwhelmed, cornered by the sudden attention, and unsure of how to navigate this meteoric rise. She had gone from a quiet schoolgirl to a viral phenomenon, and the speed of her ascent left little time to breathe, let alone prepare for what would come next. The glitz of AGT didn't come without a dark price. While the world saw Courtney Hadwin as a fearless young rocker, those close to her knew a different story. Behind the scenes, the pressure of fame began to suffocate her. She was still a child, thrust into an industry that eats its young. She didn't enjoy interviews and found media appearances exhausting. Insiders whispered about Courtney suffering anxiety attacks before performances, with some producers reportedly adjusting schedules just to accommodate her emotional state. Fans began noticing her social media presence fading. She stopped posting frequently. Rumors swirled. Was she okay? Did the spotlight become too much? Comment sections grew flooded with speculation. Meanwhile, Courtney kept a low profile, avoiding red carpets and fan events, triggering theories that something wasn't right. Behind closed doors, she was trying to hold on to what little sense of normalcy she had left. As the public devoured every clip and headline, Courtney was quietly questioning whether she could even continue in the business. And while everyone else saw a rising star, Courtney was already battling with whether she had the strength to keep shining. After AGT, Courtney landed a record deal with none other than Simon Cowell's Psycho Music. On paper, it looked like the dream scenario. One of the world's most powerful music moguls, guiding a viral sensation to superstardom. But behind closed doors, it was anything but harmonious. Sources close to the situation claimed Courtney clashed with label executives over creative control. She wanted to pursue gritty rock, raw blues, and soul-infused performances that stayed true to her identity. But the label reportedly had other ideas: shiny pop, commercial hooks, and prepackaged singles. Courtney began to feel like a product rather than an artist, and things reportedly soured quickly. Projects were delayed, an album was teased but never released, and fans began to ask if she was being silenced. Her once thriving YouTube channel slowed down. Studio sessions were kept quiet. By mid-2020, the silence became deafening. Insiders alleged the label had shelved her music due to directional disagreements, and Courtney refused to compromise her sound. Rather than bend, she vanished. She didn't address the public. She didn't lash out. She simply disappeared, walking away from a machine that she felt was grinding down everything that made her unique. The silence from Courtney didn't go unnoticed, and it wasn't met with kindness. As her visibility shrank, a wave of backlash emerged online. Comment sections turned cruel. Some accused her of being a one-hit wonder. Others mocked her performances, and some even questioned her authenticity. The very platform that had once celebrated her now became a source of torment. Meanwhile, stories emerged that Courtney had been facing severe bullying, not just online, but even from people within her personal circle. She was labeled weird, fake, and difficult. Rumors of depression and mental health struggles gained traction. Fans grew increasingly worried, especially as months turned into years without an official update. Even her fan pages began to go quiet, unsure whether to continue supporting an artist who had completely withdrawn. In truth, Courtney had retreated into isolation, not because she had given up, but because she was fighting to protect what was left of her spirit. The silence wasn't surrender. It was survival. She needed time, space, and distance from an industry that chewed her up before she had even finished growing. And as the world speculated, Courtney was quietly rebuilding, far away from the noise, and entirely on her own terms. Then, out of nowhere, Courtney returned, but not in the way people expected. In late 2023, a surprise video appeared on her nearly dormant YouTube channel. No flashy production, no PR push, just Courtney, a microphone, and a stripped-down acoustic cover of a blues classic. Her voice was raw, deeper, more controlled, yet still filled with that same electric fire that first stunned the world. It wasn't a grand comeback announcement, but it didn't need to be. Her core fans went into overdrive, flooding the comments with messages of support and awe. "She's back," they wrote. "Better than ever." There was no press release, no interviews, no tour dates, just music. It was as if she was testing the waters, reminding the world she hadn't gone anywhere, only evolved. The mystery after AGT. Courtney landed a record deal with none other than Simon Cowell's Psycho Music. On paper, it looked like the dream scenario. One of the world's most powerful music moguls, guiding a viral sensation to superstardom. But behind closed doors, it was anything but harmonious. Sources close to the situation claimed Courtney clashed with label. In 2025, the wait was finally over. Courtney Hadwin officially returned to the music scene with her debut independent album, an unapologetically raw blend of blues, rock, and soul that silenced every critic who had doubted her. She appeared in a rare interview for Rolling Stone UK, where she opened up about the years-long silence, revealing the internal battles, the industry manipulation, and her decision to walk away from psycho music to preserve her mental health and artistic identity. She spoke candidly about therapy, burnout, and the decision to live away from social media for over a year. But it wasn't just a comeback, it was a rebirth. She had launched her own indie label, taken full control of her music, and announced a surprise UK tour with sold-out venues within hours. The Courtney Hadwin the world once knew was gone. In her place stood a fierce, independent young woman who had endured the darkness and returned sharper, stronger, and more authentic than ever. She wasn't chasing fame this time. She was chasing truth, and it showed in every lyric she sang and every stage she stepped on. Today, Courtney Hadwin isn't just making music, she's making a statement. She's become a vocal advocate for mental health awareness, particularly among young performers. In recent speaking engagements, she's addressed the pressures of child fame, the dangers of online bullying, and the toxic expectations within the entertainment industry. Her fan base, once fragmented, is now more united than ever. She regularly hosts intimate live streams, updates her fans on her creative process, and openly shares the highs and lows of her journey. Musically, she's already teasing a second album, and is in talks to headline major festivals across Europe. But perhaps the most powerful change is that Courtney finally looks comfortable in her own skin. The awkward, trembling teen has evolved into a confident, unapologetic artist who refuses to be boxed in. The industry may have underestimated her, but Courtney Hadwin isn't done yet. In fact, she's just getting started. And as fans, critics, and even former doubters watch her rise again, one thing is clear. Courtney didn't fade away. She stepped back, recalibrated, and now she's rewriting her legacy on her own terms.